I am not sure how to start this because this is not my normal kind of video, but here we go. Hey everybody, so today we're gonna do kind of a rare sit down chat at home update video. I never do these types of videos for several reasons that we'll talk about, but today we're doing it. So grab your cup of coffee or beverage of choice and settle in and let's have a little chat. You know what? Let me just really quickly introduce myself. If you've never seen my channel before, or maybe you just found it recently from one of the road trip videos or a Disney video, whatever. Hi, my name's Jackie. The channel is called Super Enthused. It actually started as a blog back in like 2015, maybe even before that. I used to write up like trip reports of places that I went, like Renaissance Festival, trips to the Florida Keys, trips to Disney or Universal, all these things that I love to do that were perceived by some people as kind of like nerdy or, I don't know, different-ish, I guess. Even though they're all popular tourist attractions that lots of people do, they seemed to be kind of like a little different from the norm that you would find on travel blogs. Also the fact that I was born and raised in Miami, Florida. I lived in Miami my whole life, but I also did travel a lot and still do. Now I live in Orlando, Florida. I moved here right before the pandemic in January of 2020, so that was really interesting too. Growing up in Miami, I've always been a Florida girl, and my sort of weekend things that I would do would like go to the Keys, mostly the upper Keys, like Key Largo, because the upper Keys are much closer to Miami. That was like a 45-minute to an hour drive. So that was like a common thing I did a lot on the weekends. Go down to the Everglades, Florida Everglades National Park has a lot of different trails you can go to. Love doing that, still love it. And often weekend trips up to Orlando to go to Disney World, Universal, because basically I would work all week, drive up like Friday after work, spend Saturday all day. Like I wanted to be in a park. I wanted to be at Disney World or Universal. I did not want to be doing anything else because I knew that I had very limited time here, and then Sunday morning try to like cram in one more thing, maybe one more park or one more thing, and then drive back Sunday afternoon to be back at work or school on Monday. What is going on here? Is this totally, did this fall out? It did, it fell out. Hold on. I'm kind of a little bit chaotic if you haven't noticed, but like very mildly. I'd say like I'm like mildly chaotic. Like I'm not too chaotic. Chaotic good. No, I still think I'm probably neutral good with like a smidge of chaos. So yeah, Florida girl through and through, salt water runs through my veins, metaphorically. This is still chaos. Hold on. Blue skies and sunshine. Blue skies, sunshine. That is my heartbeat. That is my love language. That is what I love. What I did not love was Miami itself. Like, there's a lot of cool things about Miami. And if you want to see the videos that I made when I lived in Miami, they're all up on the channel. I haven't taken anything down. Often, the videos that I made were like about tropical fruit festivals and like Homestead and Redland and the Everglades and the Keys and trips to Orlando. And, you know, I did do a lot of local stuff too, but there are a lot of videos there from when I lived there. I made the best of it, and I made videos of the stuff that I did. I've always kind of like, my philosophy with this was kind of just taking the travel blogs that I was writing, like my write-ups, and making them into a video format. Instead of writing them afterwards, it's in the process. It's like, it's kind of live, like a live travel blog, like you're with me as I'm doing the things, and I'm showing you and telling you what is happening, like my tips, the things I notice, things I think are cool, things that aren't that great. And of course it's all subjective. There are, I've always said this, you could have 5 people sitting at a table eating the same dinner, and 2 people love it and say it's the best meal they've ever had. One person hates it, says it's the worst meal they've ever had. One person is like, it's okay, you know. One person has a food allergy and can't eat half of what's on the dinner. It's so subjective, but I think still by watching travel type of vlogs, you can see like that person liked that, but I could tell I wouldn't, or that person didn't like that, but I could tell I would. So I think it's still helpful. Like me, when I was planning to do certain things that I hadn't done before, I would look up videos on them and see what other people were doing, and it's helped me to plan. So that's my hope, that it's helpful and entertaining. But I started to drive up to Orlando more and more and more. And you know, I've gone through hard things in my life, like all of us have. We've all gone through hard things, but I don't put those on the channel. I never wanted to make like a lifestyle channel, like a channel about me and my personal life. That just wasn't my intent. There are some great lifestyle channels out there. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just everybody's different, and that's not what I ever wanted to do. Like, my goal in making this was never like, oh, I'm gonna document my life and make a lifestyle channel. It was more, oh, I'm gonna document the fun things that I like to do and the trips I like to take and share those with other fellow enthusiasts and people who also might like doing those things. So just to tie that little conversation up with a bow, and I just want to kind of give you guys a little background on the channel. I talked a little bit about some of this in like past get to know me and Q&A type videos, but I just want to kind of give a little quick summary for those who don't know. Always loved living in Florida, always loved traveling and trips and sharing my trips and sharing my tips and things I liked and like my photos and little clips from trips. And figured, you know, the travel blogs got a good reception from the small amount of people who saw them, and I thought it'd be so fun to do these as a little video. And really my influences or inspirations for kind of trying to make little travel videos were like travel hosts like Anthony Bourdain, Samantha Brown, Rick Steves, so many different travel hosts that I watched on television, like old school TV, which like most of us don't even really watch like TV anymore on a regular basis. We watch like streaming services, but back then TV was the thing. I've always from the beginning had the idea in my head that I am bringing the camera with me to do fun stuff that I had been doing before I had this channel and would be doing regardless whether or not a camera was with me. Normally I am not going out to a place just to make content. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just telling you my style. I'm not like, let me go somewhere where I can like make content. I'm like, let me take the camera with me to where I am going to show you the stuff I'm doing. Something new has opened and I want to show you. But the thing is, again, there, I'd be going anyway. If a new ride opens, a new land opens, something exciting's happening, I was there. Like I was at the opening of Pandora, the pass holder previews. I didn't vlog back then. I just went. I did try to capture a little bit of it on my phone and it was horrible. I like this stuff. Like I genuinely really like theme parks, attractions, historical reenactments, festivals, weird tourist attractions, roadside attractions, like the weirder the better, themed restaurants, themed resorts, all sorts of cool stuff, especially like when you're immersed in some sort of cool themed atmosphere. Like I just love that. I love the artistry, the engineering, the imagineering when it comes to Disney. Like I love thinking about the behind the scenes of how things were made. I love like Halloween and spooky stuff. I love seeing the costumes, the creativity, the sets. Now that we are caught up from the past up to now, I want to talk about now and going forward. The past 2 years have been challenging for all of us on many levels, some more so than others. We've all been through some tough things, some challenging times. Right at the beginning of the pandemic, I lost my brother. It was extremely hard. It is still extremely hard. It's not something I really talk about publicly, but anyone who knows me knows that was a very, very, very hard time and remains a very hard time because it really wasn't that long ago. And that's one thing, but there have been a lot of challenges for all of us. I know this. And I know I've chatted with some of you, I've met some of you out there in the parks and at places, and I've chat with you in the comments too, that like sometimes, you know, trips, travel, theme parks, fun stuff can help to uplift us all in hard times. Give us something fun to think about and look forward to. And I know that it has for me, and I know that it has for some of you, and I hope it continues to, because and we all need hope and happiness to look forward to in the world. So even if it's just silly, trivial things, it's something. But if we really wanted to get deep into leisure and travel in America, it's actually a topic I'm very interested in, read about and talk about. If it's a topic you're interested in, you start to Google the history of like leisure and travel in America. It's very interesting, and it's one of the reasons why so many of us like roadside attractions, historic attractions, even things that are like dilapidated and weird nowadays, but you can see those traces of history and think about people in like the 50s and 60s traveling on these early highways. Ooh, battery's about to run out. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. And it ties into Florida and the highways that came in here and the history of Disney World, and that is a whole topic in and of itself, but it's one I'm very, very interested in. So now I live in Orlando, and this year has been amazing. 2022 has been really, really good. Let's just say, like a lot of you, I put off a lot of trips because of the pandemic. I did do some trips, but there were a lot of things I just wanted to wait to do until I could do it right and until I felt good about doing it. And so 2022, things still aren't 100% normal. There's still a lot of craziness out there, but I was like, you know what? You just never know, and it's time. It's time to do these trips. So we started in March, doing a nice, really fun road trip. In April, we did a really fun road trip, visited a bunch of places. Hopefully most of you have seen those videos. And there's more. There's more that we did. If you want to see those videos, check them out. They have been so fun. And then of course in May, we did our first Disney cruise ever, Memorial Day weekend, and it was just absolutely amazing, unforgettable. We didn't expect to love it as much as we did, but we loved it, and we're already thinking about when we can do another one. And I'm already thinking about spooky season, but there's still more summer first. And then come back from the trip, we're here in Orlando. I love all the things here, you know, Disney World, Universal, SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, and to be able to show you videos on things that are going on there, updates there for the opening of Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa. That was so exciting. The opening of Icebreaker at SeaWorld Orlando, super exciting. Got to do my pass holder preview for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, amazing. Quick note about that too, I know there's been a lot of talk about getting motion sick on that ride. So from my experience, I am someone who does get motion sickness. I'll get motion sickness in a car. Some rides give me motion sickness. I know you will see me ride a lot of wild roller coasters. I've ridden some of the tallest, some of the fastest, some of the biggest, some of the wildest roller coasters out there, and there's more to come. But there are still some rides I can't ride, and it's mostly screen rides or really, really spinny rides. So like, I can't ride The Simpsons. I can't ride the Forbidden Journey, the Hogwarts ride inside Hogwarts Castle at Islands of Adventure, which makes me so sad because it is such a cool ride. I've ridden it before, and that's how I know I can't ride it. It's so cool, the technology is so cool, but spinning around in those arms and like the way they move you like in and out, and the screens are so close to you, it makes me feel so sick. The last time I rode it, I had to sit down next to the stage right out there on the floor for like half an hour, just like, oh no, it was the worst. And I was like, I'm never riding this again. I can ride Star Tours, but sometimes it does make me feel a little icky, but usually it'll go away if I just drink a cup of water after. Sometimes the Incredible Hulk coaster at Islands of Adventure gives me a little bit of a headache. I'll still do it because it's a really good coaster, but sometimes I don't. Ah, Sam has emerged. Sam, yeah. How's it going in there?
Good. I'm just editing my video. Should be a fun one.
Yeah, he's editing a video right now that is very interesting. He keeps showing me bits he's working on, and he's been actually researching and working on this one for a bit, and the whole time I'm just like mouth dropped, like very interesting. So Sam, by the way, if you don't know, his channel is called Expedition Theme Park. He does kind of mini documentaries on history of like theme parks, rides. Very, very interesting stuff. You should check it out if you're into that. Like that plug?
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad I came out for this pizza. I'll leave you to it.
Okay, have fun. All right, he went back into the office. I'm tying this back to Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind because I know a lot of people had a lot of questions. Going back and riding it several more times, we actually got to ride in the front row because the other time we rode in like the 9th and 10th row, and I did get a little bit dizzy in the front row, a little bit. I was like, oh, whoa, but like I felt fine. When I got off the ride and walked down the steps, when you're exiting the ride building, I felt fine within like 2 seconds. In that moment, I was like, whoa, but I was still having fun. But then we rode again in row 9, which is my favorite row, and nothing. Felt perfectly, perfectly fine. And I like to dance on this ride. Like while I'm riding, I'm like, woo! This is the song we get all the time. So I like dance while I'm riding. Like in my seat, obviously. I'm just like, wee! I think this song is great for the ride. It's a very, very fun ride. Very, very fun songs. I haven't gotten all the songs yet, but if you are very sensitive to that, I have heard that some people have felt very bad after riding. I did not experience that as someone who's really sensitive. Like, to the point where if you've driven in England, you'll know that like when we went to Stonehenge or driving to Alton Towers or anywhere like that, there's a lot of windy English roads. I get very ill on those roads. I am usually like just white as a sheet, just like, oh, are we there yet? Like, I'll often have to take something. I was fine on it. So it's funny how these things just affect different people differently, and you don't know, and nobody can really tell you. So don't let anyone scare you. Or also don't get overconfident just because I didn't feel dizzy on it, because I feel dizzy on other things that don't bother other people. You just don't know. But each person, I guess, has to find out on their own. And that's where we are now. It's been a very, very exciting, cool year so far, but there's still so much more to come. When we did the March and April road trips, a lot of the places that we plan to visit still this summer and coming up soon weren't fully open yet. So a lot of you may know that like a lot of theme parks and attractions in America aren't open year-round fully. They have seasons. They're open for the season. So they don't even call them annual passes, they call them season passes. And they'll open usually like closer to the summer and then close for the winter. Nowadays, that's changing more and more. A lot of amusement parks, theme parks, attractions are starting to open for like limited runs during the winter and spring, but they won't have full hours. Like a lot of them will only be open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and not every single ride or attraction is open. So it's much more practical to go when they're fully open in June, July, August, and be able to plan out a trip with days in between for doing other stuff. Because I love theme parks, but I don't only want to go to theme parks. I want to mix those in with other cool travel destinations. So what you can expect coming up is some different kind of trips, more road trips to visit some of the places that we all know are coming. And I am very, very excited for. There are some theme parks here in America that are more historic. They've been around for a long time. They're celebrating big anniversaries, and we hope to be there for that. Of course, if you've been with me for a while, you know that I do pretty frequent trips to the United Kingdom. So definitely that will be coming up. Not super, super soon, but like it will be coming up soonish this year. But you never know. Sometimes we're like, oh, there's a great deal on a flight or a this or a that. We'll grab it. So there's definitely spontaneous stuff that happens too. We're gonna do it this way. We're gonna go on a trip. We're gonna come back. We're gonna cover all the amazing things going on here in Florida, the amazing world-class theme parks and attractions we have in Orlando that I know so many of us love. I'm gonna keep on bringing you, but also more cool stuff, you know? I'm gonna try new things, gonna do more of those my first time videos. I love doing those. Those are some of my favorites. Like my first time doing something is always like, you're gonna always remember your first time going to a new place and doing a new thing. I also want to say that one of the big events here in Florida every year is Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando Resort, Universal Studios, that I love and I know a lot of you love, but I know not everybody loves, and that's okay. Like I love Halloween. I'm just one of those people. I know there are more of us out there who love it too. So I'm gonna be, like always, covering all the haunts, all the Halloween stuff, and as soon as we see any inkling of Halloween in the parks, I'm showing it. So you can expect a lot more of that, like the updates and all that stuff, and more travel, and hopefully longer and longer trips with time. I think I've said everything I want to say for this video. I think I started off saying at the beginning of this video, why am I making this kind of like sit down and chat? And I don't know if I finished the thought, but just in case, it's because we're between the big road trip, the next travel, and the next road trip that are both coming up really soon, and family being in town. There's a lot going on, really busy. It's extremely hot outside, which I generally don't mind, but like it's even pushing me to my limits with how hot it is out there. It's still fun. You can still have a great time. I usually do like a beat the heat summer video, and I'll try to do another one soon, but it's really hot and it's really crowded. The parks are slammed. They are to the walls, if you know what I'm saying. To the word that rhymes with walls, to the walls. They are crammed full of people, super packed. This is a week that if you're at Disney, you would need Genie Plus. And at Universal, Express helps a lot. I know Express is expensive, but if you're staying in an on-site hotel that includes it, that makes a huge difference. You can still wait in standby lines. You do not need Genie Plus or Express. You don't have to do it. but lines are definitely just long because it's crowded. Like it's very crowded. So I just wanted to try doing like a chat at home video. I don't do these often, so I'm not really practiced at them. Maybe I'll try to do these more like once in a while. And most recently, the channel hit 100,000 subscribers. Mind-blowing. It's a huge milestone for any YouTube channel, one I'm incredibly grateful for. Thank you so much to everyone who is part of this with me, part of all the adventures. I'm so grateful to have this community of enthusiasts to share all the cool nerdy stuff we all like. And like I always say, it's just the beginning. So I hope you enjoyed this mildly chaotic, but also just chill and relaxed little chat update, letting you know what we've done. And when I say we, I usually mean you guys and me, but also like Sam or friends, whoever's with me, what we've done, what we're doing, and what we're gonna do. So you guys, thank you so much. Whenever I say at the end of my videos that I'm sending you a ton of love, I really mean it. I'm sending you so much love, positivity, my heart, my thanks, my gratitude, my joy, all the things I am sending to you. I'll see you for the next video, which will be a regular video out and about, out there. I'm really excited. I'm just really excited because of what is coming up. I'm kind of nervous too, but I'm excited. So, see you soon, y'all. Lots of love. Stay enthused. Bye. Oh, that went blurry.